Hello, everyone. Welcome in or welcome back to Midnight Morning Readings. Thank you for viewing me today. We're going to do the general reading for the sign of Aries for the month of October, but I'm going to change the reading up if you've watched my previous readings on how we're going to do it. So please feel free to leave messages in the comments below if you like the new style or you don't, or you want something different. We're going to kind of see where we're at. So we're going to start off and we're going to get a couple of overarching theme message cards um, for this month, for how you might be seeing the month, how you might be going through the month as you are progressing. So let's get a message card, just an overarching message for the month of October for Aries, please. We're going to kind of get a feel for what's going on. Okay, we need a card, not. All right. A message card for Aries, please. Message for Aries. Thank you. Okay. So the card that came out is Enlightenment. So this is going to be a very interesting month for you. And also the reason I feel that this card very much came out is because the full moon that we have in October is a super moon in Aries. So this is going to be a very powerful month for you, especially reflection and looking back over what has happened over the last 6 months for you. That new moon happens on October 6th. And you're really starting to feel it now. You're starting to feel things come to closure, to come to fruition. Everything is coming together. And so getting this enlightenment card, you're really starting to see a lot of that whole picture, everything, all the color is finally coming together and it's finally coming out and you're saying, aha, this is why this has happened. Or you're looking back and you're saying, this is what I've done over the last couple of months, or how things have happened, or maybe this is why things have actually happened to you. And so it's going to be very interesting to see the impact of this full moon that you're feeling as you're going forward, because this is just, it's going to be a powerful month because this is the first supermoon of several supermoons that we are having this year. The last, the mega supermoon that we are having is going to be in November. So there's going to be a lot of coming together and enlightenment that is going to be coming on, especially if you have Aries, Libra, Scorpio, Taurus energies. You're going to be feeling a lot of that, especially if you have that in your birth charts. So let's kind of get an idea of where things might be going for you this month along this journey of enlightenment. Okay, so let's see what is going on for Aries, please. Card for the enlightenment, please, for Aries. Interesting. So the card that came out, it says Cosmic Weaver, and it really talks about change and progression and cycles and protection. And you're coming to the end of this cycle in October, for your full moon cycle from when this took place back in around the April era. And so you're really starting to see things coming together along with this enlightenment card. You're going to start seeing there's a lot of powerful energy that's going on, especially with us coming off of back-to-back eclipses with a new moon, full moon, as well as now we have a full supermoon in your sign that is going to be coming up. So there's a lot of energies. There's a lot of charged energies, I should say, that are going, and you might feel almost like you're go 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 go, and like it's not going to stop. You've got all of a sudden this sudden burst of energy, and it's you're just like, oh my gosh, it's all starting to come together. I'm starting to get all of this, either this work, or work is picking up, or your relationships are picking up, or however this wants to manifest for you, compared to where you were back in the spring, and now here you are in the fall. Everything has come full circle for you. Okay, so we're going to get some energy cards, just kind of seeing, what is going on, for the first couple of weeks of October for you as we're going through this. What can, but we're going to see, so these next couple cards that I'm going to pull out, this is going to be the energies or the messages that you have that has led you up to this point in October before we get into the incoming weeks. Thank you. Any other recent past messages? Thank you. What is going on for the most recent past for Aries, please? Anything else? Thank you. So on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Wow, you've got some major, major powerful energies that you have been working on in the most recent past, because you've really been working hard on something, whether it's a new job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's remodeling your home, starting a business, but you've really been working on trying to manifest and make things happen, because you're coming out of this, and the Three of Swords talks about separation. It talks about disappointment. It doesn't necessarily mean, it can be a heartbreak that maybe you're trying to overcome, and you've been working through that for some of you. That may be what was taking place. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that was that may be the circumstance. It could have been a falling out at work. It could have been losing your job. It could have been some kind of breakup or separation that took place. But you've been working these last 6 months on trying to manifest something into something better, because you've been seeing, because, with coming in with the Seven of Pentacles, that is definitely coming in and saying now the hard work is paying off. You're starting to see the fruits of all of this labor, because you've got the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is all about perspective. Okay, the Hanged Man, comes in. It's a major, major arcana that wants to come in here and wants to turn around and say, look at things from a different perspective. Okay, that's why, the card is the Hanged Man. He's looking at things from an upside down perspective. Look at it through somebody else's eyes. Look at it from a different way. Try to make sure that you're seeing all the different points of view that are coming in, because that is going to help, with that understanding of really trying to come in and say, okay, now I understand the why. Now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to move forward, right? And coming in with these two major, major court cards, okay? Kings are powerful. They're very, very strong energies that wants to come in right before you hit that major arcana. These royal cards that come in really talks about recentering your focus, focusing on your stability, your structure, your firm foundation that you have. So maybe back in March, April, when that new moon in Aries took place, you're sitting there saying, I'm starting over, because I'm starting over in a new profession. You might have done a career change. Maybe you've started a business. Maybe you finally met somebody after a really hard breakup that was there, but you really wanted to make sure that you did it right this time. So you're really focused on making sure that you're staying true to you, your authentic self, as well as where you wanted to be and where you wanted to go from there. So you also got the Knight of Cups that came out very, very adamantly. He was one of the flippers that came out. And so the Knights are all about action, actually taking action to make something happen. And so this is all about seeing everything coming back into you tenfold in a positive way, because you've been really adamant about making sure that you're taking the right steps and you're moving forward in the right direction. Okay. So you've also got the Queen of Cups. Here's the Queen of Cups, right? This is another major, the royal cards in the minor arcana are the steps right before the major arcanas want to come in there, and they're very powerful. This is a very loving energy. So the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Cups that's coming in, you were sitting there saying, okay, this is, I really want to make sure that this happens, and this happens very, very strongly for me, right? And I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly, because you've got the Eight of Pentacles and you've got Judgment coming in sideways. All right. And so you were really tossed between a rock and a hard place, right? Of saying, of coming in and you're saying, I know where I've been. I know where I want to go. I want to make sure that I'm not making the same mistakes. I want to make sure that I'm not punishing myself or somebody else for the mistakes of others. And that's what I'm really feeling that is coming in for you, that has led you into this full moon. And so you've really, really been working on trying to make sure that these energies have been coming in, very, very strongly, because you've got all of this attraction, and you've been really working on making sure that your energies and your thoughts are all focused on moving in that powerful, positive direction, because you really want to make sure that everything was coming into fruition. So we're going to see what's coming in over the upcoming weeks for you. Okay. And see exactly what is going on, over these next these next 4 weeks in October, as we are seeing, like what is going on here, right? Okay. 2 more cards, please. 2 more for Aries, please. The card on the bottom of the deck is fulfillment, which is very, very much saying this is what's leading you into this enlightenment and into this, into this full understanding of what's going on. So what you're really going to see here coming in these incoming weeks is you've got power, stillness, protection, and fulfillment that are coming in over these next 4 weeks. So it's going to be very important that you continue to really focus on what's coming in, because this is what's going to lead you into, through and help guide you through this next month. Okay. So over these next couple of weeks, what we also want to make sure of that we're continuing to work on ourselves. We're going to get a couple of shadow or letting go cards. What do you need to work on in over these coming weeks to help keep ourselves grounded? Okay. So let's get 4. So okay. And then finally, just some clarifying that are going to be coming in, and we're going to be diving into this. So I'm really feeling with these overarching energies that are coming in, you've got power that is coming in the first week of October. And you're seeing this enlightenment that is coming in is what you're starting to see. And with that comes to make sure that you're not really focusing on power as in like authority. It's really coming into saying, I have the power. Like, I have finally realized what my internal power is as I'm moving forward. And it doesn't matter what others think of me. It doesn't matter what I've done in the past because I know what I'm doing as I'm moving forward. Because along with this power card that you've got for, so what you're really going to be feeling these first coming weeks, this first week is this power, but you're also going to understand what your self-worth is with this, but you're not going to be focusing on what others think because you know it's this enlightenment that you're going to be feeling because you've also gotten perspective. And that's what the hanging man talks about that has brought you into these current messages. The hanging man talk is all about looking at things from a different perspective and being able to see other people's point of view as far as what was going on. And sometimes, Aries, especially being a fire sign, this can be very, very difficult for you to hear sometimes about how you may have been seen by others that may have caused some of those relationships to have gone otherwise, which is where that Three of Swords came in, that caused things to split. Whether it was a relationship, it was a work, it was your career, something that came in. But all of these realizations are coming in with the new moon. So as you're going into week 2, you've got this calmness that's coming up because now you've coming in and now you've seen things from the different perspective and you're doing a lot of reflection on what actually happened and what was actually taking place. So when you're in the stillness, it's time to listen to the silence because there is a lot of truth in the void sometimes. And you're going to be getting these racing thoughts, and it's focused on what you can do now rather than what ifs. And you're really sitting there saying, I wish I could have done things differently. I wish, things had turned out differently, or maybe I should have behaved, maybe I should have done this. And Spirit is coming in and saying that is not what this whole message is about. What we're coming into telling you is saying, with the Hanged Man coming into this enlightenment and really understanding other people's perspectives, you're coming into this aha moment of saying, don't focus on the past, focus on what you're going to do in the future. You've worked so hard these last 3 months about what you wanted to focus, how you wanted to do things differently. Don't lose sight of that because they also gave you patience, right? And so patience is coming in, and it comes in with the stillness. And remember I said, with this energy of this full moon, everything coming into fruition and everything, you're going to have this go, 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 run, 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 run energy. And Spirit is saying you're going to have this big enlightened aha moment around that full moon into that first week of October. And that's when you're going to have this reflection. You're going to go inward, and you're almost going to cut people off from you. You may, and people who love you and people who know you know that you do this. When you have a hard time dealing with something internally about yourself, about what you want to do, you go inward and you shut down. You shut the world out. You shut everybody off. And whether it's for a day, a week, or however long it is, it's until you can come to terms with things. It's almost like you're coming up with a game plan, a battle plan of like, this is how I'm going to go because somebody just blindsided you and hit your flank and you didn't see it coming. And so now you're kind of recoiling a little bit, not because you're stung, but because you're processing everything. And that's where you're coming in this second week. Okay, so when you come out, you coming into this third week, you've got this protection. And so you're going to be a little bit more guarded because you're going to be so intent about how you are going to move forward with things. You want to make sure that you're doing things right and that you're staying on track with things. And you're going to sit there and you're going to say, okay, you know, you can tend to be a procrastinator about certain things, and you got this go 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 energy. You're really spending this second week really trying to focus on what you're going to do as far as moving forward, because you're going to come in and you're going to say, you know what, I want to move forward. This is what I want to do. This is something I have to focus on moving forward. And that procrastination might be one of those things, because people look to you for guidance, Aries. You're one of you're one of the signs that can be a very, very strong natural born leader. You can get people going and motivated and moving in a direction very, very quickly. But when you recoil, sometimes people kind of lose that because they gravitate towards you for that. So when you're going back and you're looking and you're reflecting on yourself for this moment, you know, and you're really going to stop doing this, you're realizing, okay, I guess maybe I am a procrastinator. Maybe I don't take as good a care of myself as I should. Maybe I know this is what I need to do and I still choose the bad habits anyway. And that's going to be the enlightenment, the aha moments that you have in this first week, because the second week you're going to figure out, all right, how can I move forward differently? How can I move it so I'm not that procrastinator where I can put my self-care and I can take care of myself and still move forward at the same time? Maybe I do need to rely on some of my other people, you know, and let them help me to do things. I don't have to do it all myself. Because coming into the final week of October is fulfillment. And this is that true enlightenment piece that you're going to be working on. You're going to see it orchestrate very, very quickly in the month of October. Things are going to start moving very, very quickly, because as you are starting to see this coming in, you're starting to see everything coming back in. And so we've got this full moon that's coming in on October 6th. If you look at this particular fulfillment card, there's a full moon that is in the background. You are going to see all of this happen, this enlightenment, this fulfillment, all of this in a month, in 4 weeks. It's going to go like lightning that is going to be there. And at the end of this, with this, you're going to have this path that you're going to have to take, that you're going to sit there and remember, it says be true to yourself. You're going to have this choice at the end. By the time the next full moon comes around, you know, the next full moon in November is going to be in Taurus, right? And so that full moon is going to happen at the very beginning part of November. And by the time this comes around, you are going to know the path that you're on, and you are going to make a choice. I mean, if you look here at choose your path, there are actually 3 different paths that are going to be presented in front of you. And none of them are wrong. Don't get the idea when you come to this fork in the road or this trine in the road that's going to be coming up, none of these paths are a wrong choice. It's the choice you need to make based on the work that you have been doing over these last 6-7 months. And this is the path that you want to make. And you're actually going, as you are being presented with these choices, you are actually, which is very kind of outside of your nature, right? So you're a natural born leader. You aren't afraid to make a decision, and you're not afraid to live with the consequences that come with it. But this is such an important decision or point in time in your life that is going to be so critical to the next steps you take. It is going to change the direction of your life forever. You are going to realize this at the end of October, that it is going to be such a critical and important decision you're going to have to make. You are actually going to seek out other people's advice on it, and you're going to be willing to listen to what they are saying. Again, going back to the Hanged Man of saying, I've got to look at this from a different perspective. I don't want to make the same mistakes that I have made in the past, because those mistakes have caused people that I love pain, unhappiness, discomfort. And I don't want to do that again, because you weren't afraid of the consequences. You're very conscious of the consequences with this next major decision that you are facing. Okay? So it's going to be very important for you to really, really sit down and focus and really think through. And that's why you're going to go through all of these stages, all of these transitions so quickly, so fast in the next 4 weeks. By the time that full moon in Taurus comes around, you're going to know which path you need to make. that you are going to seek out advice of others, which is something you normally don't do, because you always have the plan. You always know what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and you don't listen to other people's advice. But this time, it's going to be such an important decision for you to make. You are actually going to seek out the opinions and guidance from others as you are moving forward, because you have reflected so much on what you have done in the past. You're really wanting to make a decision as you're moving forward. Wow, such a powerful, powerful, powerful message that we've got. So we're going to get we're going to get final message from Spirit that is going to kind of tie this whole reading together before we get your final message card. So we're going to see, is there anything else that Spirit wants to say or to tell you about this reading that is going to, thank you, that is going to help provide any additional clarity or guidance for you. Okay, so let's see. Thank you. Final messages. Any messages from Spirit? Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you. The bottom of the deck, you've got spiritual union, triumph, intuition, and trapped in fear. Okay? This is where, you know, all of this really wants to come together. Okay? You're talking about choices. You're talking about moving forward, right? As you are moving through this month, you know, and so, you know, you're really talking about, you know, choices that are coming in for you for this month. And you know, so I mean, you've got the Two of Cups, you know, and so the Two of Cups says, you know, you're going to make a choice, and that's this decision that's at the end of this month. And it's reaffirming what I have already stated. The message from Spirit is none of the choices that you are going to make at the end of the, before this next full moon in Taurus in November, is going to be a wrong choice. It's going to be a beautiful choice. Okay? You just want to be so intent about the decision you're making. You're seeking out the advice of other people, because you've got the Chariot, and then you've also got the High Priestess, you know, that's coming in, and this is saying things are going to move fast, which things are going to move very, very fast, but you're going to have to go with what your true self, your intuition is really telling you as you're moving forward. And to make sure, you know, the Eight of Swords always talks about getting stuck in your mind. Okay? You're making things out to be bigger than what they are, and you're making mountains out of molehills that really don't exist. Okay? Don't get stuck in the what ifs, which we've already talked about. Don't talk this in the second week of October. Don't get stuck in, well, what if I do this, or what if I do that? You know, it's not going to matter, because the choice you're going to make is going to be beautiful, and it's going to be the right one for you as you're moving forward, right? Because here you go. All right, this is fulfillment of wishes. This is the Nine of Cups. All right, the choice you are going to make is going to grant all of your wishes. This is the Nine of Cups. This is the wish card. This is all of your dreams and aspirations coming true, coming to fruition. This is everything you've been working for, and it's going to be such a beautiful end to the month that you are just going to see this enlightenment, because it's something you have been working on, right? So here you've got two of your chakras. Okay, so you've got the firm foundation, which is your root chakra, and you've also got your solar plexus, which is your gut, your intuition. You know, you're really coming in here, and this is coming in saying you've got to listen to what your intuition is telling you. But make sure you've got that firm foundation. Make sure you're rooted. Make sure you are grounded. You know, so as you're going through this, you know, the second week in October is going to be huge, because you are going to really internalize a lot of things. You're really going to go into that stillness, that calmness, into that capsule, so to speak, to where you really want to focus on everything and you're shutting everybody out because you are doing your own sorting of everything, right? And so as you are continuing to go through this, you're looking through everything and you're like, what does my gut tell me? Okay, I'm overcoming my fear. I'm not listening to this. You know why? Because the devil's coming in. And, matching up with that, that Eight of Swords, and it's saying, don't go back down the same path. Don't make the same decisions, your choices that you've made in the past, because you're not going to. Because you know what those are. You're being very intentional because you've got the Three of Wands, which is partnerships. You've got the Four of Wands that is coming in, which is firm foundation, achievements. This is everything, fulfillment that is coming in at the end, because you've got the Ace of Pentacles. And this is about new beginnings, new structure, new money coming in. This is everything that you've been working for over these last 6 months. Okay, the steps that the landmines that you've stepped on in the past. You are so conscious about about your past and about the wrong choices that you have made because you have foregone the consequences. You made the decision without considering the consequences and those that it has affected, that you didn't care. You had a devil may care attitude, but you don't have that any longer, Aries, which is very, very transformative of you. It's huge, 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 major for you. You're very fearful that you're not, but you want to make the decision, the right decision, so much so bad. You are seeking guidance and help from others to help make sure that you are staying on the path that you want to, so you don't make the same mistakes twice. Okay. Wow. Very powerful reading. Very, very powerful reading for the month of October, Aries. Very, very powerful month for you. Very transformative. That full moon is going to be very, very intense for you. Very, very intense. So we're going to get your animal spirit guide message before we depart for this month, as we are looking to see how we are going to wrap this up. All right. All right. Spirit guide for Aries, please. This is a very large deck. It is very difficult to shuffle sometimes. There we go. And this is a confirming message from Spirit. So they gave you the Loon, which is intuitive. And so the message on the card states, listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. This is very, very, very confirmational message from Spirit for this reading for you this month, Aries. It cannot restate enough how important it is going to be that you listen to your intuition as far as listening to the guidance and seeking out the wisdom of others for this month as you are moving through this month. All right. Very, very powerful message. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. Please leave comments and let me know how this reading, any or all parts of it, resonate with you. And if you like the new format or you prefer the old format, or any combination of the two. And we'll just kind of keep plugging along month after month. But I would be grateful if you would hit that like, subscribe, and share button on your way out. Take care.